and welcome to week 7, day 3 of Sing for Hull. We are looking at Katy Perry's Firework, a song full of energy and some good lyrics that we can really get our teeth into. And that's what we're going to be doing in today's session. But before we do, I'm going to tell you a fact of today. And the fact is that when people write their own lyrics, sometimes the people who are listening to it or their fans might actually change the lyrics. Maybe not deliberately, but Katy Perry originally wrote, "Just own the night like a firefly. Just own the night like a firefly." And that's because she quite liked fireflies. She used to see them and they reminded her of fireworks. Now, when people listened to the song, they ended up singing "Just Own the Night" like the 4th of July. And that's the American Independence Day. And it's a day where people tend to celebrate with lots of fireworks. And Katy Perry heard her fans singing this and thought, well, actually, I think that's quite good. So she has herself sung the song with the lyrics the 4th of July, and that tends to be a better known version of the song. We're going to do our firework themed warm-ups, but we're going to start with that song that gets our brain clicked in with our bodies. Remember those vowel words: alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I hope you've been practicing. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, I'm awake, alert, alive. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. Now I promised you we would do it quickly, so are you ready? I don't know that I am. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, I'm awake, alert, alive. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. So let's do our lovely firework warm up. Some nice deep breaths. And another deep breath. And one more time. Great. Sean's back with us for our vowel exercise. Those nice bouncy vowels with that slide at the end.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A, E, I, O, U. 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 A, E, I, O, Let's do that firework tongue twister now. 4 fizzing fireworks fly in flaring frenzy. 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 A lot of hard work today, isn't it? We've taken a quick look at vowels and we're going to look at them again in a tiny bit more detail. Now, when we sustain notes in singing, we sustain on the vowel sounds R, E, O, U. And we had a look at that in our warm-up. Now, sometimes it's a little bit more tricky. So if I take quite a simple word, I'm going to use hat and I'm going to sing it. Hat. Now, I've started with, I've sustained my vowel ah, and then I've ended with t. Now, Firework is a great song to look at these because there's something called diphthongs and triphthongs, and these are sounds that have got more than one vowel in them. So we're going to use the word light I'm going to say it slowly. Light. So you'll notice I have my L at the start, my T at the end, but in the middle I've got I, and that's the I vowel sound. So actually, in that one sound, I have to move my tongue to make two different vowels. So when I sing it, let's listen. Light. Now, when you are a singer, you have to think when you're going to move your tongue to change that vowel sound. Let's listen to it again and I'll do it different each time. Light, light, light. Now, traditionally, we would usually go for the first one. We're holding that first vowel and we're just doing a little change at the end of the word. Light. But if you listen to Katy Perry, when we have the pre-chorus and she sings, you just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. We have three of those I sounds. Now, I sang it traditionally there, holding on to that first vowel within that I sound. But if you listen, sometimes just to add a bit of style, Katy Perry actually changes it about halfway through, and it sounds like this. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. So that's really diphthongs for you, and thinking about how you sing your vowels, particularly those sounds that have got more than one vowel in it. So I'm going to leave you with the word fire, because that is a triphthong. It's got three vowel sounds within that I at the end. So have fun singing that. Just do it some different ways and decide which of those vowel sounds do you want to sustain. Fire. In the second part of this video, and we're talking about performance tips, we're going to look at how the lyrics can help us achieve the right sound, the right style and resonance that we need to sing the meaning, the emotion of the song. Now, as we evolved as human beings, we learnt the sounds that we needed to make to communicate how we felt. So if anybody walked into a room now and went, oh, we would instantly know that they're really tired and fed up. If somebody walked into the room and went, hey, hey, we would know they had something really important to tell us and that they were trying to get us to listen. If somebody walked in and went, woohoo, we would know something really good had happened to them. And in the same way, if somebody walked in and went, oh no, we'd know probably something very bad had happened, or they were really, really anxious and worried about something, and it was quite urgent because their voice is quite high. So we have learned to make the sounds we need to. Now, when we sing, we're given lyrics. We're very lucky, actually, compared to maybe instruments where you just get a line of music, because the lyrics tell us exactly what we should be feeling when we sing that line. So the lyrics in Firework, Katy Perry was really wanted them to be really special. She really cared about this song because she really wanted it to be inspirational and a self-empowering anthem where people would hear it and think, actually, do you know, I can do this. So if we take the first verse, do you ever feel like a plastic bag? I don't get asked that very often. And on its own, it's a bit strange. But if we take the rest of the line, drifting through the wind, wanting to start again. Now, if you've ever seen a leaf or a piece of paper or indeed a plastic bag drifting, they're very they float quite aimlessly. They lack direction. So she's basically using a simile like to make you think of what the emotion is. You feel lost and drifting with no direction. The second line, do you ever feel paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? So a house of cards is when people build the sort of cards, they stack them, and it's very delicate, and if you blow it would just all fall over. So that's about feeling fragile and maybe weak, vulnerable. So when we sing those 2 lines, we want to show that in our singing. So what emotion would we be feeling? I think we'd really be feeling down and a bit fed up. So just let me get my note. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? So we've got that nice sound, that lost sort of emotion. Then when we come to the next bit, do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screams, but no one seems to hear a thing? We're going to add a bit more air, because actually that's getting a bit more urgent. You're buried and you're sort of desperate to get out. And then we get to the bit where we're getting a bit of hope. And this is like somebody talking to you. Don't you know that there's still a chance for you, because there's a spark in you? So that's that real don't give up. And then we head to the pre-chorus. Now the pre-chorus is the bit that is really building, and we're adding excitement, and it's like we're about to tell somebody something that's really, really important. So we are singing lower in our range and traveling higher. So we're going to access those 2 registers. Most likely you will, or you might choose to do it all in your lower register, but you need to think how you're going to blend it as you get higher. So we're going to add that whine sound. Ah, 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 because you can do that right the way across your 2 registers through your whole range, and it carries quite loud and also quite soft. So it's really good when we're building and blending. You just got to ignite the light and let it shine. I'm adding more air because I'm getting higher. Just on the night like the 4th of July. So we're really getting that excitement in there with that nice sort of nasal tone. Not too much, but it adds that brightness that helps us blend. And then we're into the chorus. Just going to check my notes again. Because baby, you're a firework. So now you might be singing that up in your higher head register. So we're going to get that brightness, but we don't want it to sort of be too rounded and baby, you're a firework, because it doesn't fit with the style of the song. This is really your woohoo moment in the song. So just like you would go, yeah, woo! We want that in the way you sing it. So we want that little bit of wang sound on it. Because baby, you're a firework. Come on, show us what you're worth. Make them go, ah, 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 as you shoot across the sky, high, high. So it's nice, it's bright, it's bold, it carries loudly without you doing any damage to yourself. However, depends on your range. You might actually be able to do that in your chest register quite fine, and that's natural to you. So just remember to think of those emotions and try really hard actually to use those sort of primal feelings. What do you need to feel? What are you promoting? What's the message here? And think naturally what your body would do if you were making that sound. And that's actually a really good way when you're starting singing of keeping things natural and making sure you don't damage anything. So I hope you have lots of fun with this. Just remember, don't strain and always keep nice, healthy singing. But it's a really good, fun song. Loads of energy. We really want to see the light and shade, the difference between the uncertainty at the beginning and that build of confidence towards the middle. So enjoy, and I look forward to hearing you virtually singing it on Friday. That's it from me this week. I hope you caught Luke yesterday doing an amazing make and create on mixing sound, and you've got a real treat tomorrow. You don't have just one person, you've got a number of teachers from the piano family who are going to be doing features all on different types of keyboard instruments, and it is a real treat. So don't forget to tune in on Friday at 1:30 p.m. and to also go and check out our accompanying resources. But have a lovely rest of the week and hope to hear you